Hello friends, a very warm welcome to Ansarkari, and today we are taking up again very important themes and topics which is going to help us understand that what are the key areas, what are the important uh, areas which we need to see, not just for the perspective of uh, prelims but also mains and also even personality test. So the key area with respect to understanding the first topic is the train to Kashmir. Now, train to Kashmir means that we are going to see and understand that how infrastructure and how development makes a lot of difference. So this is a very, very important and a very important key thing which we must understand in order to go for the goal and ideas that how society is going to be completely changed. So what are the key words here? First of all, you should be thinking about that it is not just the rail connectivity, but it is the all year, all year. The most important thing is that round the clock, 24 into 7, now valley will be connected. So you have to understand it is going to bring a sea change. It is not just colonial time period, but what we are speaking about is in the modern times, how this is going to help create a Viksit Bharat. On the top of it, you have to see all other capitals and areas also, which are actually very, very important with respect to any kind of development, I would say, not just physical, but also all kind of development. So iconic bridges is one of the important points given here. One has to think about iconic bridges also and the kind of differences that it is making. Make a list of it, which will be very important for the prelims. And so it's an engineering field. There are development benefits. All these ideas you have to see. And I would say in your newspaper notebook, just draw that how, this network, uh, which is very, very important. USBRL is the keyword. That is Udhampur, uh, Shri Mata Vaishno Devi, Katra, Baramulla, or you can say Banihal, and going till Baramulla. That's what I would say. So USBRL project, you have to just keep in mind. Side news talks about that COVID-19 shot mRNA may help defeat HIV. That is one element. So you have to see that how advanced clinical trials make a lot of difference when it comes to uh, life-saving drugs, when it comes to bringing a change in the fortune of humanity. Both the ideas are important. Moving forward, let's see. So this is just a kind of an example how Trump Musk breakup is going to impact NASA's future space missions. You can use such anecdotes or such development in the ethics and also in the general studies. I mean to say in ethics and also in essay paper, to be very precise. You have to bring such element when you say that how two individuals are more than institutions, and that too also belongs to the most powerful country in the world and the most powerful and rich person, and how they are impacting the future development. From that perspective, you have to see that how personal relationship and behavior and conduct of personalities, they may impact even the institutions. This is just what an example over is. So essay theme, definitely you can use it. Again, JNK opening the key rail bridge to Valley. PM targets Pakistan. Pahalgam terror was also attack on JNK livelihood. Very true. And it is very, very important. Konkan Railway CMD SK Jha and its executive director L Prakash, both of them, they are saying for 12 years we ate, lived and breathed Chenab. So dedicated to the nation, and they have done their job, and that is why it must be appreciated. After Sindoor, calculate, that means India must look beyond the China-Pakistan nexus, and we must develop strategic ambiguity, keeping ties with America on eel. That means that we must understand that China is always funding and always updating and always creating a great stabilized position for Pakistan, and it is a proxy war for India in that sense. So we are sending all party delegations to various countries, but are we sending them to our neighbors first? Are we sending them to Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, or even Bhutan, Nepal? For that matter, neighborhood first policy. This is what very important. And China will keep upgrading Pakistan's military capabilities to serve as an effective proxy against India. India must not even say that we will give a chance to Pakistan and to see that we are going to attack. Even that kind of ambiguity must also be there. So what is very important is the key word that you can write down in your notebook is credibility is the indispensable asset in holding the diplomatic and the domestic fallout from any such crisis. Credibility. So credibility is a function of transparency. How you will be found to be as a credible person when you are showing transparent behavior. So Ministry of External Affairs and the armed forces, they are coming together, and then they are bringing the information. So whether it is the information about our losses, so it is if our losses are also there, then Ministry of External Affairs and Chief of Integrated Defense Staff and even other, are they on the same page? So efficacy of sending all party delegations to various countries, it presents that India wants to convey a credible message. India wants to convey that proxy war will not be tolerated under any circumstances. When we move forward, so the men who grows bridges. So very important again for the General Studies paper 4, Khasi conservationist. The name is also given here. It's a very, very important example of a great scope, great work. So this Khasi gentleman, he is playing a very important role in this regard. How he is trying to create a kind of a positive and a kind of a meaningful attitude, meaningful role. So what are the key words here? The key word here is that it is a kind of it is a kind of very important role by the community. Community role is there, so we must understand the role of community. Secondly, most important thing you must see here is that how an individual, however, in whatever part of India the gentleman is there, but they can play such an important role. So Morning Star Khong Thao, 500-year-old tradition of growing bridges from roots. So we know there are in Meghalaya, this is an example which comes through root bridges, and it has been asked in the prelims also. But यहाँ मैं कहूँगा, when you are going to write answer in General Studies paper 3 in disaster management and also in context of environment, तो आप कहीं ना कहीं आप लेके आ सकते हो. So it is a kind of an inheritance, it is a kind of a rock, it is a kind of a aerial roots are a kind of a scaffolding. They are like in the Tarzan story. So we must know that it is a kind of a Ficus elastica, that is Indian rubber fig, chosen for its aerial roots and descend from branches and seek the ground. And if the terrain allows, trees are planted on the either side of the stream or the gorge. So it will be helping you to move on. It is so amazing. In rainy season, when the roots are soft, they are gently bent and guided across the span using bamboo and scaffolds. So that's how they are acting as a roof also. So very important, guiding root is not one-time action but sustained relationship. Team returns each monsoon to weave, check growth and layer compost. Rotten leaves and branches and oil wood, वो सब हटा दिए जाते हैं. It is a kind of a maintenance thing. So this is not just with the gentleman, Mr. Morningstar, but there are other people also, and the challenges are also there in terms of in terms of time, in terms of energy, in terms of what bridge agar galat ho jaye cheez ko, and then secondly if you are not aware how to do it properly. So there are a lot of ideas and lot of things are involved in it. So it is a kind of a great heritage. It is a kind of a great development. So tourists at the double decker living bridge in Nongriat, Meghalaya. Going further, RBI is double delight. Why say double delight? Because repo rate and CRR, when they are down, the cash reserve ratio is at 3%, and previously it was 4.5, then 4, then 3. So the point is that cash reserve ratio is reduced. That means growth is there, but then now credit will become easier, and deposit and saving rates will go down. That means more money in the market. That means more liquidity. that means more opportunity, and this is going to help in the development, in the growth, and in the economic prospects. So repo rate, this is seeing the deep cut, that's what we are saying. And again, one more topic is here. If we move forward, how RBI's repo rate cut impact lenders and borrowers. How repo rate cuts is impacting lenders and borrowers. So the banks are expected to face pressure on the margins while borrowers are stand to gain. So ये prelims के लिए बिल्कुल idea clear होना चाहिए that when what will happen to the FD rates, what will happen to the CRR, what will happen to the liquidity. So this is very, very important, and as we have seen in our video series also, you must be very clear with the idea of M1, M2, M3 and M4. So the stance is showcasing a cautious approach, and from the economics optional perspective, what we need to see the basis and the phenomena and the thought process and the policy behind taking such steps. So growth remains lower than the RBI's aspiration and amid challenging global environment, and even RBI is also ready if required, वो उसको change भी कर देगा. So transmission faster this time because rate cut is in progress. So policy rate, money market, bonds, lending rate, and deposit rate. So these are all four given here. So market rate since February 6, 2025, it is showcasing. So what is there is that it is a fast movement. It is a kind of a fast understanding of the geopolitical and geostrategic situation. It is the understanding of India's economic growth and development. मोटे-मोटे शब्दों में यदि ऐसा कहा जाए. So Starlink gets satellite license, Satcom license after 3 years wait. कुछ और अप्रूवल चाहिए फ्रॉम द इंडियन स्पेस प्रमोशन एंड ऑथराइजेशन सेंटर. ये आप कीवर्ड है, याद रख लीजिए, INSPAC. So Elon Musk led firm is third Satcom operator to receive GMPCS license. That is what I can say is global mobile personal communication by satellite. ये दो keywords हैं, वो आप नोट कर लीजिए. So they have got the license, and then let's see how it move forward. India's Big Four PMO forms panel led by MCA, that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs Secretary, and Corporate Affairs Secretary Dipti Gaur Mukherjee, to examine the policy interventions required and pave the way to creating large Indian advisory firms capable of competing with the Big Four, that is EY, KPMG, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and Deloitte. So the key agenda of meeting was to give push to the PM's vision of creating big advisory firms out of India, very, very important. And Shaktikanta Das, Principal Secretary to the PM. Apart from that, Secretary Mukherjee, Arvind Srivastava, Revenue Secretary, M. Nagaraju, Secretary, Department of Finance Services, Ajay Seth, Secretary to the Department of Economic Affairs, and Sanjeev Sanyal, member of the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister. So identify and eliminate barriers, enabling environment, and Indian chartered accountancy firms to become globally great advisory firms. So that is what is required. Steps to be taken in that direction is very, very important. All restrictions and barriers are to be removed. FCI availed short-term loan of 20,000, around 20,000 crores, क्योंकि FCI received about 28,000 crore from the Finance Ministry in the first 2 months. The Finance Ministry is currently disbursing weekly food subsidies in the range of 700 to 800 crore to FCI. FCI has projected food security expenses to 1.43 lakh crores for financial year 26, as against the total food subsidy budget of 2.03 lakh crore. तो ये कुछ फैक्ट्स हैं. ये फैक्ट्स आपको पता होने चाहिए, बट फ्रॉम द मेंस एग्जामिनेशन पर्सपेक्टिव वी मस्ट ट्राई टू थिंक एंड वी मस्ट ट्राई टू राइट what kind of modernization, what kind of reforms, what kind of work structure, and what kind of policy structure is required within FCI, so that India becomes a streamlined, a very, very efficient and transparent body as far as a role model for the whole world is concerned. Extreme poverty down in India to 5.3%. So my question to you is only one: what we should be done on the war footing basis so that the extreme poverty that is of 5.3% है, ये और भी कम हो जाए. Threshold into your $3 per day, yet poverty incidence is seeing a sharp fall. But get back to me with the 5 key areas, 5 key factors, 5 key developments जिनसे आप ऐसा बता सकते. Index mutual funds, a silent revolution, and it's very, very important, especially for the economics optional paper 2 की अगर मैं बात करूं या GS3 में अगर मैं बोलूं, तो जनरल आपको पता होना चाहिए. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपको पता होना चाहिए कि जो 1975 यहाँ पे एग्जांपल है, जॉन बॉगले established Vanguard mutual fund which offered a new style of investing, index mutual fund. Index have transformed the world of personal investments, although the first mutual fund to avoid putting all eggs in one basket, shaped in 1924, that is long back. So आप कह सकते हैं कि डाइवर्सिफाइड पोर्टफोलियो ऑफ अनकोरिलेटेड सिक्योरिटीज जिनका लोअर रिस्क है देन वन हाई रिटर्न सिक्योरिटी इफ वन कंबाइंस नॉन रिटर्न कोरिलेटेड सिक्योरिटीज इन अ पोर्टफोलियो, उसमें हाई रिटर्न्स नहीं आते हैं बल्कि रिस्क भी लेकिन लो रहता है. सो दैट इज हाउ आप कह सकते हैं कि जो इंडेक्स म्यूचुअल फंड है वो अपने आप में एक तरीके का रिवोल्यूशन है, बिकॉज इट इज गिविंग मोर अपॉर्चुनिटी, इट इज गिविंग मोर आइडियाज, एंड देन investing in diversified low cost index fund is benefiting the common man. And आज की डेट में यदि मैं बात करूं तो न्यू जनरेशन इज डेफिनेटली पुटिंग मनी इनटू इट. इन इंडिया द यूटीआई, दैट इज यूनिट ट्रस्ट ऑफ इंडिया, इट लॉन्च द फर्स्ट यूनिट निफ्टी 50 इंडेक्स इन 2000, जिसने अभी 25वीं सालगिरह मनाई है. द बेंचमार्क फंड स्टार्टेड द फर्स्ट ईटीएफ इन 2001. In 2007-2008, the number of ETFs, including the gold ETF, were 13, comprising 0.6 of total mutual fund equity assets. पिछले कुछ सालों के अंदर सिग्निफिकेंट राइज हुआ है पैसिव इन्वेस्टिंग के अंदर, और 32 इंडेक्स फंड्स थे 2020 में, 87 ETFs थे. तो आप कह सकते हो कि एक साइलेंट रिवोल्यूशन आया है, डेमोक्रेटाइज करने में मदद मिली है कैपिटल मार्केट्स को, लो कॉस्ट ऑप्शंस आए हैं जनरल इन्वेस्टर्स के पास, एंड द रिवोल्यूशन हैज ओनली जस्ट बिगन इन दैट रिगार्ड. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जॉन मथाई, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉलिटिशियन, स्टेट्समैन, और आप कह सकते हो कि अपने आप में लीडर, जॉन मथाई सर. एंड ये जॉन मथाई अभी फोटोग्राफ यहाँ पर जो आप देख सकते हैं, इट इज देयर इन टाटा's बोर्ड रूम. इट इज स्पीकिंग अबाउट हिज कंट्रीब्यूशन. एंड आप ये भी कह सकते हैं कि intricate balance between the different elements of subject's life, that means Mr. Mathai's life, and कैसे उनके लाइफ के milestones हैं. Mathai's life is manifestly fascinating by first moving from the private sector to the government and then becoming a core member of the policy circles that watch over transition of India from a colony to the independent. That is why I said John Mathai was a statesman. एक तरीके से वो प्रोफेसर, स्टेट्समैन, लीडर, आप कुछ भी कहिए. और जॉन मथाई साहब ने जो है बॉम्बे प्लान के ऊपर वर्क किया, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द प्रीलिम्स इन इकोनॉमिक्स, ड्राफ्टेड अंडर द guidance of J.R.D. Tata and G.D. Birla among others, and it got attention of not only Congress but the other groups and leaders also. So Mathai played a very important role in the national politics, and Mathai is having a great acumen, और उनके पास एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग थी जो हमें उनकी व्यवहार में और उनके वर्क में दिखाई देती है. फॉर एग्जांपल डिबेट्स हो गए, क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स हो गए, बजट एलोकेशंस हो गए, उन्होंने इंटरिम गवर्नमेंट को ज्वाइन किया और उसके बाद रेलवे मिनिस्टर भी रहे. इट इज़ एन इंफॉर्मेटिव, वेरी वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव टाइम पीरियड जिसके अंदर उन्होंने अपने पूरी जी जान से काम किया. एंड in the preface to American, Prometheus, a biography of scientist Robert Oppenheimer, authors Carl Baird and Martin J. Sherwin confess that it is a deeply personal biography, researched and written in the belief that a person's public behavior and the policy decisions and in the जो भी आपके by the private experiences of a lifetime. तो कहने का मतलब वही है कि एक ऑनेस्टी थी उनके काम के अंदर, और एक उसके बाद जो है एक उनके काम के अंदर एक काम करने का एक स्टाइल था. और उनकी फैमिली, उनकी वाइफ अच्छामा मथाई, उनका भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल था, ये हम कह सकते हैं. तो दैट्स व्हाट वी कैन से, a formidable personality and a great job, that's what we will say. 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी एंड बियॉन्ड अगर हम बात करते हैं तो वही बात है, उसमें क्या कटिंग एज टेक्नोलॉजीज का रोल आएगा? आएगा. लेकिन उससे पहले अगर आप इंट्रोडक्शन लिखने की बात करते हो तो आप सबसे पहले कह सकते हो कि 1974 में हम जो है 33 बिलियन इकोनॉमी, और उसके बाद जवाहरलाल नेहरू स्टाइल, सोवियत स्टाइल जो सेंट्रल प्लानिंग थी 1991 के बाद, उसको तोड़ा जाता है. फर्स्ट मेजर लीप 1991, नरसिम्हा राव टाइम पीरियड, अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफर्ड बाय डिजिटल रिवोल्यूशन, इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ इंटरनेट, इंडिया में बिगेस्ट टेक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप आई. उसके बाद आप कह सकते हो इंडिया अब जो है जापान को भी ओवरटेक कर जाएगा. 4.9 ट्रिलियन मार्क पहुंच चुका है. जापान वाज वंस ए 5.8 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी बट हैज श्रंक टू 4.18 ड्यू टू स्टैग्नेशन एंड स्लो ग्रोथ रेट. इंडिया जो है वो अब आप कह सकते हैं साइज ऑफ जीडीपी के हिसाब से, पर कैपिटा इनकम के हिसाब से वो इतना हाई नहीं, लेकिन अब धीरे धीरे ऊपर जा रहा है. नो कंट्रीज ग्रोथ कैन बी मेजर्ड ऑन द क्राइटेरिया ऑफ पर कैपिटा इनकम अलोन. यूएस is the world largest economy with a 28 trillion GDP. It's ranked seventh in per capita. चाइना सेकंड लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी है, इट रैंक 69. तो पर कैपिटा आर्गुमेंट इज वर्थलेस, क्योंकि इंडिया इतना बड़ा है. इंडिया अगर लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी वर्ल्ड का बन जाएगा तब भी 50-50 रहेगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ पर कैपिटा इकोनॉमी. सो फ्रूट्स ऑफ इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, जब तक सारे सेक्शन तो सोसाइटी में पर्कुलेट नहीं होते, जब तक वो पूरे डेप्थ में नीचे तक नहीं जाते, तब तक हम नहीं कह सकते कि हम जो है आगे बढ़े हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाट हैपनिंग. टूरिज्म ने एक रिमार्केबल रोल प्ले किया है, और डोमेस्टिक और इंटरनेशनल उसके बीच में इंडिया ने भी वही किया है. हेल्दी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ इंडिया की दिखाई देती है. नियर इरेडिकेशन ऑफ बेसलाइन पॉवर्टी, आज भी हमने बात की कैसे एक्सट्रीम पॉवर्टी 5% से भी कम रह जाती है. अब उसके बाद अगर हम इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ की बात करें, तो वी हैव टू गो विद द इंडस्ट्रियल, वी हैव टू गो विद द सर्विस रिवोल्यूशन, वी हैव टू गो विद द डिजिटाइजेशन. और हमें मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को भी ऑब्वियसली, जैसे मैंने बोला, उसको प्रमोट करना होगा. हम कह सकते हैं हमने 2 इंडस्ट्रियल रिवोल्यूशन मिस किए. सबसे पहला हमने इंडस्ट्रियल रिवोल्यूशन मिस किया, उसके बाद हम कह सकते हैं कि भाई जो कैपिटलिज्म और जो ग्रोथ है वो भी हमने मिस कर दी. लेकिन आईटी सर्विसेज और फोर्थ इंडस्ट्रियल रिवोल्यूशन जो है आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, क्वांटम टेक्नोलॉजी, रोबोटिक्स, स्पेस, डिफेंस, क्रिप्टो एंड बायो इंजीनियरिंग, ये जो हम लेने की बात कर रहे हैं, इसमें हम पीछे नहीं रहेंगे. तो मेरा आपसे निवेदन और आर्गुमेंट यही है कि हम उसको कैसे आगे करें, कैसे हम इसको आगे बढ़ाएं, इस पर ही आपको सोचना होगा, और यही आपके मेंस के आंसर का पार्ट होना चाहिए. So wishing you all the best. Do make your own points and notes and discuss with me. There are no shortcuts. Make it a pleasant habit, and with happiness, we are providing you the best at your own convenience, so that you can get success in the examination. And that is what is the goal of Ansarkari. Thank you for listening, understanding, and having great belief in your dream to get success. Thank you.